the Fantasy Flow Podcast. Thinks Brock Bowers is pretty good. Hey, welcome into the Fantasy Flow Podcast. Week 1, baby, it's here. Let's go. Enough of this preseason. We're ready for week 1. We're recording September 1st on Labor Day. We're working hard. I mean, geez, like we don't have time to sleep. You know, we got drafts today, drafts yesterday. We have another draft on Wednesday, right before the season kickoff. And you guys probably do too if you're listening to this. So we're here. This is our week 1 preview, Andy. And before we get to that, and boy, do we have a lot to get to. We got picks against the spread. We have fantasy recommendations, start, sit, stuff like that. Storylines we're going to get into. But I think off the rip, Andy, we got to talk some NFL news because it's been a while since we recorded. And one of the biggest trades that the NFL has seen in quite some time. Let's talk about that Micah Parsons trade, Andy. He goes from the Cowboys to the Packers for a couple of first-round picks. Nothing complicated about it, right? They're not, it's contingent on playing time and everything. You know, it's like, no, it's just straight up Micah for 2 firsts, basically. So, Andy, what was your reaction when you saw that, and what do you think of the trade?
How dare Jerry Jones does this to his fans? That was my first initial reaction, was like ego over fans. Like, oh my God, this is just insane. Who does this? Nobody does this. For 2 firsts. First Luka gets traded from Dallas, and then Micah gets traded from Dallas. I mean, what's going on with that town? What's in the drinking water?
Yeah, no, I definitely thought about that, and then I thought about how, like, there's no lottery in the NFL. Like, does Jerry think he's gonna get one of those firsts to be the 101? Like, he's like, we'll just rig it like Dallas did with
right.
What do you mean there's no lottery? With the balls and the numbers? What no,
it's my bingo night.
I never lose at bingo.
Damn it.
Yeah, no. So, yeah, these first-round picks are going to be late. I mean, I don't know. It's not the same as the Luka trade because the NFL isn't as rigged as the NBA. So, it's a tough one for the fans. That really sucks. I was talking to my wife, and I was trying to explain to her what a big deal this trade was, and really what I settled on was, like, Micah's probably a top 5 defender in the NFL. And all of those other players that you could talk about as being a top 5 defender are around 30 years old. And Micah is 26. So this mega contract that he signed with the Packers, he's in his prime for that whole contract. So, like, in that sense, it totally makes sense. If you're going to pay any defensive player out there this kind of money, it's probably Micah Parsons. He's so versatile. What makes him incredible is that he's just as good of a linebacker as he is a pass rusher. And, the Packers, they traded away 2 first-round picks, but hey, I mean, they miss on most of their first-round picks anyways. And I don't know. Like, if you're going to give a guy this big a contract, you probably can't afford those first-round picks anyways. So, like, it's a lot, but it's a lot of fun at the same time. I totally get it. They feel like they have a window right now, and I like it for the Packers. How about you, Andy?
Oh, I love this for the Packers. I mean, it just amplifies my spicy Super Bowl take to, like, up 3
that was
level.
A good call.
Like,
that was a good call.
Right? And that was well before the news. So, this team is primed to stop anything the offenses throw at them. And then they're just going to run the ball. They're not going to have to put as much on Jordan Love's shoulders. Like, this is just overall a great move for pretty much any team. Even if it wasn't the Packers, like, put in any team here and we would be saying almost the exact same thing. Like, great move, good play, helps your offense, your defense helps your offense, et cetera, right?
Yeah, but man, I mean, the Packers, they've just been so good, but so close, but like not quite, you
Right.
know. They've been kind of doing what the Bills and the Ravens have been doing on the AFC. They've been doing that in the NFC, and then yeah, you just that division's never been better. So it's just a total arms race over there. And yeah, it's you love it for the Packers, and then let's talk about the Cowboys. First of all, like the fantasy implications, Micah on the Packers, if they're a better team, if their defense is getting stops, maybe that means more carries for Josh Jacobs. If they have more leads in games, maybe they're running more into the fourth quarter. But I don't know that there's a ton of impact there. Uh, but with Dallas, I feel like there is a bigger impact because that defense is gonna stink. That's kind of my perception of it. You look at the splits with Micah and without Micah, their defense is in the bottom quartile without him. And yeah, this offseason, they didn't really address it in any huge way. And it really felt like this was not planned. It was like they planned to have him there, and now he's not. And I'm really concerned about this defense. I think that means Dak and CD and even George Pickens, even though I'm not really on the Pickens train. I think the passing volume goes up.
I agree. I agree. I think about the head coaching too. I mean, isn't Mike McCarthy just sitting at home like, thank goodness I'm out of here? I mean, Brian Schottenheimer must be thinking, what did I sign myself up for? Why am I like, what is going on? And I totally agree. The Dallas offense is going to be the equivalent to the Cincinnati Bengals in the NFC. Like, they are just going to have to pass the ball, and it's going to be a ton of pressure on Dak's shoulders and his mental game as well.
Yeah, it's yikes. I mean, you wish they could have done this in March or whatever. You could reallocate some of that money to help improve your team, but
Mm-hmm.
no, it's 2 weeks. Imagine what that does to a locker room. How deflating that has to be
Oh,
for a group of guys. You have your best player, your leader, just out the door, and yeah, and you're just like, how are we supposed to win games now?
yeah. They were relying on three players: Micah, CeeDee Lamb, and Dak Prescott. And you take out one of your best three players, maybe the best player on your team, honestly.
Yeah,
I mean, you're totally right. The locker room is just shaking in their boots now. Like, what are we doing here?
and yeah, I wanted to try and make a good case for the Cowboys, like long term. Okay, now they have 2 first round picks, and both of the next year, like they can build something. But like they're paying Dak. Dak's salary cap hit is the highest in the league. It's and like this just isn't a good window to do this. It doesn't make sense to me. You have kind of an older roster. Um, it's not really a tanking team. Like they're trying to compete. They won last year was bad, but I think like the 3 years before that they won 12 regular season games. I was kind of surprised. I went back and looked it up, and it was like this is a pretty competitive team, and you just sell off one of their best players. So yeah, that's a huge bummer. I thought the Cowboys would be very mid to below mid this year, and now with Parsons gone, I feel very confident about that. Yeah. Um,
Fourth, fourth,
anyways,
fourth in the NFC East.
oh, below the Giants.
How do you
Maybe.
not? How do you not put them there now?
I do love the Giants' defensive line. Ironically, yeah, we'll see.
All
We'll
I'm
see, man.
saying. All I'm saying.
There was other NFL news that broke, particularly when it comes to Rashee Rice. I mean, the fantasy football community, outside of Rice and maybe his family, like the fantasy football community was most impacted by this because we've been led, this way, that way, this way. Oh, he's not going to get suspended. He is going to get suspended. Well, maybe he'll get suspended in the middle of the year. What does that mean for fantasy? And it was just been a nightmare. Finally, it's resolved. He is suspended for the first 6 games of the year. So, Andy, I mean, RIP to those who already drafted him early. But yeah, how do you view Rashee Rice now, knowing his suspension situation as well as the rest of the Chiefs' pass catchers?
Most leagues don't allow you to put suspended players on the IR, and I would really check your settings to make sure that that's the case. If it is allowed by any random chance, I think he's a great value. Most leagues do not. So I'm just staying away from this guy as a whole. I mean, yes, it's the Kansas City, it's Patrick Mahomes, it's Andy Reid. Like, there's vacated targets. You can put all the noise out there you want. I'm putting my headphones on and I'm not listening. I'm avoiding this guy tenfold. I was last week, last month, at the beginning of the year, everything.
I made my case as to why I'm not a fan of Rashee Rice, and that was before this news. I didn't like the situation. There's so many mouths to feed in Kansas City, and they love spreading the ball around. Like, there's a legitimate tight end too now. They drafted a receiver in the 4th round. Hollywood Brown is healthy this year as opposed to last year, and Xavier Worthy's just that much more integrated into the offense going into his 2nd year. Like, there's just a lot of mouths to feed. So, like, even when Rashee Rice comes back, he's not going to come back and like dominate the target share the way that some people are talking about. That's my opinion. And yeah, it's just to stay away. Other NFL news, I don't know. I mean, those were the big hitters. We can talk about Adam Thielen getting traded from the Panthers to the Vikings. I like that for JJ McCarthy. That's a very savvy route runner who is probably going to run mostly shorter routes, especially while their receiver, whose name is escaping me right now,
Jordan Addison.
Jordan Addison suspended for the first 3 games. So that's a nice little backfill there that they have for those first 3 weeks and moving forward. And then with the Panthers, I was like, oh, wow, that's crazy. And then I went down this rabbit hole of like Jalen Coker is the guy now. Like, this very, undrafted wide receiver out of Holy Cross really impressed the team. Not only did he make the team, he started getting targets at the end of the second half of the year. He's going to be their new slot guy. And then they just announced right after trading away Adam Thielen that Jalen Coker is going to go on IR, miss the first 4 games with some sort of calf injury. So it's just like a quad or a calf or something. I don't care. I'm just so frustrated. And this is just, it's bad news for Bryce Young. I don't understand where all of his weapons are going. Like, it's just like every week they lose a new weapon. It is how it feels. But I guess Tet McMillan, his target market share is just going to go up. And
Sanders, the tight end too. Like, I think a lot of people are sleeping on him. He's a young guy, showed some promise at the end of last year.
Could be. Jatavian Sanders.
Thank you. Yep. And for the like storyline is really cool that Adam Thielen gets to go back home undrafted, like that part is really cool. But from the Panthers perspective, you're like, what are you doing? Like, this, you again, kind of like Micah, you don't trade guys right before the season starts. Whether it's old man Thielen or young Micah Parsons, your team is like collaborating and becoming a nucleus, and then you just strip a part out right before you guys all like ready to go to war. Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense on
a veteran presence too. And this is just such a make or break year for Bryce Young. Unfortunate.
Sure.
But I already didn't really like the Panthers. I wasn't very exposed to that team to begin with. So for fantasy, I don't know, especially in redraft.
Yeah.
Tet McMillan looks like a value.
Right.
And yeah, we'll talk more later. Like I said, we're recording Monday. This episode's going to come out either Wednesday or Thursday. Eagles are going to start us off hot against the Dallas Cowboys, who are, like we said, deflated. They have to go on the road against the dominant Super Bowl champion division rival Eagles. They're going to get their butts spanked on national television, or so it would seem. 8.5-point favorites. We're so back. Like, I love this.
Oh, yeah.
Thank God we're not Cowboys fans. What are some other headlines, some storylines that you are just really excited to see finally come to fruition as we make our way into week 1?
I'm not a big fan of this player per se, but I can't ignore the storyline, the drama, everything that surrounds this game. Aaron Rodgers versus the Jets. Pittsburgh versus the Jets, Justin Fields. It's like a double revenge game right off the bat.
Right.
It's going to be fun to watch. I don't like Aaron Rodgers, but I got to see how Pittsburgh's going to do. You got to see the Jets with the new head coach, new quarterback, how they're going to play their offense, how the defenses are going to interact. It's probably going to be a low-scoring game, if I could bet anything. But I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you there. And yeah, that is hilarious the way you phrase that, a double revenge game. Because Aaron Rodgers trying to be like, I wasn't the problem, the Jets were the problem. And then Justin Fields is trying to show, hey, you should have stuck with me.
Yep.
I won games for you. Now I'm over on the Jets and I'm gonna Oh man. Yeah, I think it's gonna be really sad.
Yeah.
Like
I'm not
imagine
crying,
this
you're
game
crying.
is like yeah, what if this game ends like 16-10.
Yeah, totally.
And you know the Steelers are winning that game if that's the
Right,
case.
right. What about you?
God, yeah. Oh, it's going to be fun to see. Aaron Rodgers has made some pretty big headlines in Week 1
Sure.
in recent
Sure.
years. So yeah,
Sure.
no, that's going to be must-watch TV. I got another old quarterback to talk about. I want to talk about Matthew Stafford. That a lot's been made about his back problems throughout the offseason. He hasn't been practicing. They put him in some sort of chamber. And yeah, it's just getting very sci-fi over there in Los Angeles. But they just said he's ready for Week 1. He's going to start. And so I want to see what that's all about, especially now that he has Devontae Adams. And they're going up against a really significant challenge in the Houston Texans defense. So that's what I'm looking forward to, because unlike the Panthers and the Cowboys and other teams we've yapped about, I believe in this Rams team, and I'm on record. I've drafted Rams. Like, this is very significant for fantasy football and for my teams and all that. So yeah, I want to see what Matthew Stafford looks like.
One storyline I think that gets lost in all the Shador Sanders, the Jackson Darts, the Matthew Staffords is the Jacksonville Jaguars traded their first round pick and next year's to move up 2 spots to go draft this unicorn of a player, Travis Hunter. We forget him because he's the wide receiver 2 on his own team. And, I'm here to remind us all, this guy exists, and we have no idea how well he's going to play, how much he's going to play, where he's going to play. And it's just a big question mark around him. And we're going to be able to find out a lot of answers after this Week 1 when we watch Jacksonville versus Carolina.
That's a great reminder, because I feel like because he's not a quarterback, he's not getting the buzz, unless you're in Jacksonville. He's not getting the buzz that I feel like he probably should be getting, because this is a player who we haven't seen anyone in decades try and do this. So, and like, he's looking to change the game, basically.
Right.
Heisman Trophy winner for best college football player. He also won the award for best receiver in the league, won the award for best defensive player in college football. Great call. We should absolutely be talking more about him and how they plan to use him. It sounds like they're going to be using him like 75% of the time on offense, and then they have like packages for him. But yeah, super curious to see what his workload, snap count's going to look like. And if he can make a big play, that's going to go absolutely viral if he can make a big play on defense.
Yep.
Well, I fell victim to what I was just talking about, because I have another quarterback on my storylines take, and it's just J.J. McCarthy. Missed all last year, a redshirt year. We've talked a lot about it, but man, I've just been waiting a long time to see this guy play in the NFL, and we're finally going to get a chance to see it. I think his game is Monday night against the Bears. So that's another challenging defense, and it's look, prime time. He's on an island. Everyone's gonna be watching him, and he's got to deliver. Like the Vikings, this is not a rebuild year. Like they're in it to compete, and I'm just that's must watch TV in my opinion.
Yeah, I might edit yours just a little bit and say J.J. McCarthy versus Caleb Williams, both players. We're like Bears fans, and most of the community is just erasing last year from the Bears. So really, like, they're getting their fresh new starts, and they're going against each other. So going head to head. So yeah, I agree. It's going to be a fun game to watch.
Totally. Yeah. And just last one I'll throw out there. It is going to get lost in the shuffle because we've already talked about a lot of storylines, lots of big names. This one, there's no way it's on national television, but just Raiders Patriots is a very interesting Week 1 matchup to me, because we're seeing 2 new coaches, Mike Vrabel versus Pete Carroll. And it's just going to be a very interesting clash full of a lot of fantasy relevant players. Ashton Genty's getting in the mix, Brock Bowers. And then on the Patriots side, they completely revamped their whole wide receiver room, brought in Diggs. And we don't really know what the depth chart is behind him, who's going to get targets. Like, it's just going to be really interesting to see. Yeah, maybe not as gripping as some of the other, Aaron Rodgers.
No,
Caleb
but
Williams.
we'll the fantasy world will learn a lot from that game from both of those teams.
Yeah.
And a lot of us are heavily invested in, like you said, Genty, Brock Bowers, like those are two guys going in the first 2 rounds. So we're gonna want to see those types of numbers and production right at the get.
I think that game just has more question marks on it than any game. So, like, Geno in Las Vegas.
Sure.
What does that look like?
Sure.
Drake May under Mike Vrabel in year 2. Is he improved? Like, there's just a lot that I want to find out.
And I don't know if you saw this, but there's, out of all the matchups, half of them are divisional games. I don't know if the NFL does that every year. I feel like week 1 is kind of a sacred, only a few select divisions get divisional matchups. I could be wrong on this. I didn't look it up prior, but 8 matchups are divisional matchups in this week 1, which I just thought was a big number.
Yeah, the schedule makers are insatiable. It just seems like they always have to up the ante every year. They take over more holidays. They maximize all the storylines. Like, I remember when the Seahawks traded Russell Wilson to Denver. It was like, okay, week 1, like, you play each other.
I was there.
Right. And so they're doing the same thing with the whole Aaron Rodgers, Justin Fields, right? So it's like, they just, Ravens, Bills. Like, we didn't even talk about Ravens, Bills. But yeah, the divisional games, like the Chiefs have a divisional game. Our Seahawks have a divisional game. Yeah, it's all over the schedule.
Right, right.
It's almost too much.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. Like, a lot of implications. Week 1, right off the rip. Like, dang, man, no mercy.
Yeah, Bucks, Falcons, week 1. Lions, Packers. Like, that. This could, like, decide the division in week 1. Anyways, okay, so that was every game. Yeah. Every game's a must-watch game with juicy storylines. Right. NFL, we'll take our paycheck now. Okay, we've sufficiently hyped you up. All right, let's focus in on the fantasy football of it all. This is a fantasy football show. I know we're excited, but geez, Andy, how many fantasy leagues are you in this year? What is it, 10? 11?
Yikes.
Goodness, bro.
Yikes.
Yeah. I think I'm in 6. I think it's 6, including all the guillotine, chopped leagues. Sure. But man, all right. So who's a guy? We're gonna start off with players that we're flowing into our lineup. We're gonna stay positive here. These are guys who are not particularly obvious. You didn't draft them. Hopefully we didn't pick guys in like the first 3 rounds. Sure. Where we're trying to help out our listeners, give them some actionable advice. Who are you most excited to flow into your lineup week 1?
Yeah, I'm going Tucker Kraft with the Green Bay Packers. Jaden Reed is still questionable if he's even going to play week 1. Matthew Golden is a rookie, so he'll be his very first game. And then all their other wide receivers are either trash or hurt as well. So I think Tucker Kraft is like such a safe bet for Jordan Love to throw the ball. They're going to be running with Josh Jacobs. I think Tucker Kraft is safe. I think this is just a nice, easy flow in. This could have been a guy that's on your waiver wires. This could be a guy that you drafted really late in your league, in your draft. I think it's just an easy smash play.
You said you anticipate Matthew Golden getting off to a slow start. Reed is working through some sort of foot thing. Yeah, I can definitely see it working out for Kraft, having some more opportunities early on. I hate that Luke Musgrave is still there. It's kind of like they do have 2 tight ends, but like that's why he fell in the draft. He's not the obvious tight end. But yeah, I do like that pick. The first guy that came to my mind that I'm flowing into my lineup, I don't care where you drafted, what round you spent on him. Emeka Egbuka has to be in your flex in every league. It's insane, okay? He's a rookie. This is his first NFL game, but he was one of the most NFL-ready prospects. And you combine that with the fact that there's no Chris Godwin, there's no McMillan, and Cade Otton is probably going to miss week 1 as well. So it's like, who's Baker even throwing to? It has to be Egbuka, and then Mike Evans You're going up against a Falcons defense that is exploitable. Mike Evans is going to draw a lot of attention. I just think Egbuka is going to totally feast in this game. I think it's going to be a shootout because I just anticipate both teams having success against these defenses. There's a matchup I'm targeting, and yeah, it's like there's not enough mouths to feed. Like Egbuka is going to eat.
I think Rashad White is still hurt too. Who knows how his
No
condition
way.
will be for week 1, you know? So just proving your point even more, like Baker's got to throw it to score to keep up with this game. And Ibuka is going to be in the slot. He's going to be wide out. He's going to be going from one side to the other in motion a lot. I love this pick. I instantly put him into my starting lineup in one of my leagues. Right after I saw that you put this name in, so
Right on. Well, how about you hit me with another name?
sure. I'm going Chuba Hubbard going against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't expect the Jacksonville Jaguars to be very good. He's the running back 1. Depending on where you drafted him, maybe you have to start him. Maybe he's your 3rd running back. I think he's a smash play. He got a massive contract. We just talked about how Thielen's leaving the Panthers. It opens up. They're going to have to generate some offense. That's kind of my reasoning here. And the volume's going to be there. He's going to have to help out Bryce Young. And I don't think Jacksonville's that good.
Yeah, it is a plus matchup. Not enough mouths to feed, like we talked about the departures that the Panthers offense has had recently. I think it's a good play. Definitely start Chuba Hubbard. Good DFS play, too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with another running back. And this guy, you drafted him late. I get it. But if you can find a way, I would recommend putting him into your lineups. This is the time to start him. I'm going with Jerome Ford. Looks to be the RB1 for Cleveland. And I know there's Cleveland, it's like a circus. There's so much like drama and everything. But the reality on the ground is that Joe Flacco's the starter. He's a very competent game manager quarterback. This Browns team has a good defense. David Njoku, like Jerry Jeudy, they have guys who can move. Like this offense isn't as putrid as it's being made out to be, you know, in like preseason and everything like that. Like people are clowning on the Browns. I totally get it. But in reality, on week 1, it's a fine offense, and Jerome Ford's going to be the lead back. And it's against the Bengals defense. Everyone's been talking all offseason how terrible the Bengals defense is going to be. So give me some Jerome Ford.
Yeah, this is a tough pill to swallow. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just double checked on their on the Cleveland Browns website. It does say Jerome Ford on Outlands. It does say Jerome Ford as the running back 1. Just had to double check because it was up in the air.
I should clarify, as of this recording, Quinshawn Judkins, their second-round rookie running back, is still not with the team as of this recording. So that's obviously a huge caveat here.
Correct.
But
correct. Yeah. And even if he signs on Tuesday or Wednesday, do you think he's really going to be impact ready on that game? No, I don't think so. So yeah, I agree. I think this might be a tough pill for our listeners, but I'm totally there with you. If you have an extra spot, if you're questioning your second running back, like, and their matchup, this is a great filler for that spot. I'm gonna go with Keon Coleman, and really any Buffalo Bill player. Honestly, you got to start him
all of them
this week. Yeah, I mean that you drafted, I guess I should say, because this is a plus matchup. This is going to be a high scoring game against Baltimore. This is going to be high power offenses going back and forth. I could easily see this game like 32-28, something like that. I think you want Bills offensive players, and not just the obvious ones.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. Total clash of the Titans, Ravens, Bills. Man, you love to see it. The Ravens had a terrible pass defense last year. They have addressed it in the offseason, but we have yet to see it. Yeah, no, I think that's a fine pick. Last one here, I have a wide receiver. His name is Deebo Samuel. I've been rising on Deebo. I feel like the news has been a lot more positive lately than it was at the beginning of the offseason. And, the Giants have a weak secondary, a great defensive line, but they got problems back there. So I think he's going to be featured a lot. I think he's going to get a lot of manufactured touches to work around that defensive line. A lot of maybe some screens, maybe some end arounds, things like that. The departure of Brian Robinson Jr., and I just don't really see a 7th round rookie running back having success up the middle against that defense. So maybe this is kind of a good natural transition into players I'm flowing out of my lineup. I'm flowing out Bill Krosky for week 1 because of that tough defensive front, and I'm going to be flowing in players like a Deebo Samuel, maybe even an Austin Eckler.
Yes, I totally agree. I got to see it with Bill. He was going against preseason second, third stringers. Yes, there's a lot of hype around him. But yeah, I totally agree. I am no way entrusting him to win me my week 1 matchup in the RB slot, in the flex spot. I'm staying away. I love the Deebo. I'm still 50. I'm still on the fence with this guy. 1 week I'm in, 1 week I'm out. So I totally hear you. And then I'm flowing out DeAndre Swift. Now, this might be a little spicy because you drafted him to start him. But man, this Minnesota front is just straight gas. They are going to come after Caleb Williams. This offensive line is revamped for the Bears. I don't care. We got to see it before we believe it. We got to see how Caleb, I think Caleb Williams is going to struggle this game. I think it's going to be a lot that he's not ready for with the Ben Johnson offense. They might have to revamp some things, and DeAndre Swift is going to get penalized for that. So I have a hard time trusting Swift in this matchup. I love Swift for the year, but not so much week 1.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, a little bit of a projection there. You just don't see it going the Bears' way on Sunday. I like the bold take. I am going to flow out of my lineup Dak Prescott. We just talked about how he's going to see an increased passing volume now that his defense sucks. But week 1, an island game against the Eagles in Philadelphia, that's not the defense you want to go up against. That's horrible. And I checked the weather. It's a little early still as of this recording, but there's chance of rain on Thursday. That's just to stay away. That's yikes. I would rather start guys like Tua. He's got like a nice weather matchup against the soft Colts defense. You can't trust the Dolphins to stay healthy. You can't trust them when the weather turns bad at the end of the year. But week 1,
right?
Week 1, I would start him over Dak. Week 1, I would start Trevor Lawrence at home against the Panthers.
Yes. Man, you're that's I hate hearing this. I hate it, but it makes sense. I think Dak's going to be,
as if Cowboys fans haven't, heard enough bad news.
Right, pile it on them. I think Dak's going to be on his butt a lot. I don't know how good the Dallas offensive line is, and we know how good the Eagles defensive line is. So, good luck, Dallas. I'm going Jacoby Myers against the Patriots. This guy requests a trade. That's one thing we didn't really mention.
You're right.
Bold take there for the guy. I don't know what happened, or maybe he's just seen the offense fading away from him, and he's like, "Get me out now before I get more pissed off." I don't know what's going on there.
It was a total reaction to the signing of Amari Cooper.
Sure.
So the Raiders brought in Amari Cooper on a 1-year deal for not that much money, but Jacoby Myers, he just took it personally, and he was like, "Well, okay, fine. I guess I'm not your number 1."
And I just see that translating. Honestly, that attitude, that mental, I just see that translating to week 1. It's going to be the Brock Bowers show. It's going to be the Ashton Genty. Geno Smith's going to be slinging it. And I could see Jacoby getting 2-3 targets and just throwing his helmet on the ground. And Geno's like, "I thought I got rid of DK Metcalf. What the heck, dude?" So
the last player that I'm flowing out of my lineup, and this hurts because he's one of my guys, but I'm going with Calvin Ridley.
Oof.
Week 1, I know I drafted him as like one of my flex players, but I'm demoting him to my bench this week because he's going up against the Denver Broncos, nightmare of a defense, and his Cam Ward, his quarterback, that's his first ever game.
Yep.
And it's just, My gosh, you got Pat Surtain, reigning defensive. I guess the season starts, so he's no longer reigning. He is defending
Mm-hmm.
defensive player of the year on the other side of the line of scrimmage. I'm just like, yeah, like I will confidently flow Calvin Ridley into my lineup next week, just
Yeah.
not this week.
Bo Nix had a terrible game against the Seahawks, his very first game in the NFL. And now we look at Bo Nix as like an MVP candidate the next year, right? So these rookie quarterbacks, it's going to be rough those first couple weeks. And when you go against a defense like Denver's, I don't blame you one bit. I'm going to do another kind of wrap around here, and I'm scared to start any Jets player against Pittsburgh. I gotta see some more stuff before I trust Garrett Wilson, before I trust Breece Hall. These are Justin Fields. Like, a lot of people are going to be drafting Justin Fields in your super flex league or two quarterback, whatever you want to call it. And man, going against Pittsburgh week 1, I think it's in Pittsburgh if I remember correctly. I'm staying away from this game as a whole, especially on the Jet side.
It is in New York.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, start your defenses in this one.
Yes. As we just said, it's probably going to be a low-scoring game. I don't see a ton of volume. Both defenses are pretty good. Yes, I totally agree. Find those defenses and let them rip.
All right. This next segment is a brand new segment to the Fantasy Flow podcast. We're calling it the Fantasy Flow Face-Off, and it is basically picks against the spread, but instead of Andy and I putting our noggins together and bringing our picks to the people, we're going mano-y-mano. This is a face-off. Andy's going to make his picks. I'm going to make my picks. We're going to keep track throughout the whole season. It was going to be 3 picks each every week, and we're going to have a running tally, and then there will be some sort of punishment at the end of the year for the loser, a big punishment. So stay tuned. The stakes are very high, and what makes this interesting is we are going to draft the point spreads that we like the most. And it could get spicy because Andy and I, we kind of have a sort of telepathic, we listen to the same, content, kind of see the game the same way. So there could be some overlap, could be some drama. But since I came up with this game, I'm being a little generous. I'm going to give Andy the 101 here in our Fantasy Flow face-off. So Andy, hit us with a point spread that you like for week 1.
You already
and
lost.
It's going on the board. It's going on the board, bro. This is locked in, okay?
Yeah, you're being too generous. I don't know why you're giving me the first pick. You already lost this week. I'm going with the home team, Seattle Seahawks, plus 2.5. It's an easy buy with this team. Going against San Francisco, that is depleted across the yard. People are hurt. Who's starting what? I don't know. Yeah, they got Christian McCaffrey. Who cares? Seattle's winning this game. Plus 2.5 is what I saw on my spread.
Yeah, that's what I've seen too. Okay, so you got Seattle at home, and you get 2 points. So, yeah, there's Robert Saleh coming back, Christian McCaffrey coming back, but then you got some other players who aren't coming back, some real studs on defense that they lost. So I think it's a pretty even matchup. I've seen the point spread kind of like waffle, but right now, yeah, I mean, that was the last one I saw too. So you're getting 2.5. I respect it. It wasn't exactly at the top of my list. Maybe I'm just, trying to guard against my emotions because I'm already rooting for the Seahawks so much. I don't want to triple down on one. I'm actually going to take another NFC West team with my first pick, and I'm going to take the Arizona Cardinals to cover 6.5 points against the New Orleans Saints. They got to win by a whole touchdown, but I think that's going to be light work against Spencer Rattler and company. What are your thoughts?
Wow, you're putting trust in Arizona. That's my thoughts. You're probably right.
I am.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
They win by a touchdown? Probably. But man, just to trust Arizona this early in the game, good luck. Good luck.
All right, what's your second pick?
I'm going to go with the Patriots minus 2.5 against the Raiders. I think they're just a better team overall. The Raiders were not very good last year. Neither were the Patriots, but I'm trusting Mike Vrabel and that organization and Drake May a little bit more than Geno and company.
Okay. So I think that's another home team, right? That game is in
I believe
Foxborough.
so. I believe so.
Yeah. Man, yeah. So, but you got to cover. You got to win by a field goal. Yeah.
Yeah. Mostly all these games are like 2.5, 3.0. You know, like it's week 1. Vegas is hands up in the air as much as we are.
Not mine, baby. I got the Cardinals with my first pick, and the second pick, I'm taking another favorite to cover. I'm going with the Steelers minus 3.5 against the Jets. So they got to win by more than a field goal. They're on the road. Aaron Rodgers, that's just a whole unknown, but I feel like I know what I have with Mike Tomlin and the Steelers defense. And I think the biggest thing for me is that you have Justin Fields on the other side of the ball, a quarterback that the Steelers are so familiar with, his strengths, his weaknesses. He was literally in that organization last year, and he's now on the other, playing for the other team week 1. I just think that they're really going to exploit that, and it's just a nightmare week 1 matchup for Justin Fields. I like the Steelers, even if Rodgers doesn't do his thing. I think just the run game and the defense.
Sure.
Just don't mess it up, Rodgers.
Right.
Just cruise to a 4-point victory or greater.
This exact pick was on my list, but it was at the very bottom. So for the third and final pick on my end, I'm going to stay true to my word here. I don't think it's going to go very well for the Chicago Bears. I'm going Minnesota. I saw a spread of minus 1.5. I think that's an easy smash. Minnesota is well-rounded, talent across the board, a lot more than the Chicago Bears.
JJ McCarthy's first ever game, and
that's okay.
I mean,
that's okay.
Okay, yeah.
You just got to win by 2.
Totally
That's
get it.
Basically, just has to win.
We both love the Vikings. We both love them for this year. That's ballsy to pick him week 1 in the Fantasy Flow face-off, which will have a severe punishment at the end for whoever has the fewest correct picks. Okay, my last pick. I'm between 2. I came with 4 picks. You haven't taken any of them. So now I am like, oh boy, which one do I go with? All right, I'll go with the spicier one. Do it for the content. I'm taking the Browns.
Wow. That is spicy. You're banking
Last
on...
I saw was 5.5 points.
Oh, wow.
So they just got to keep it within 5 points. I'm relying on the Bengals defense to be as bad as advertised. Game manager Joe Flacco, Jerome Ford had like over 5. He had almost 6 yards a carry last year. Let's make this game as unexciting as possible. The Bengals have historically gotten off to such a slow start.
Right.
They've been victim of a couple of upsets. I think this is really interesting upset watch. I'm getting 5.5 points. This is a divisional game, like another divisional game to our point earlier. I think it's spicy.
Yeah, the Bengals lost to the Patriots week 1 last year, and the Patriots,
Right.
I think, only won 4 games. So, and that was one of them. So, yeah, I totally agree. And this could be the same exact storyline. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bengals storyline is almost identical to last year. They almost make the playoffs.
Could you imagine if they actually lose to the Browns week 1?
Oh, yeah, they would be under so much heat. I mean, that would just be, they're wasting Joe Burrow's career. Why did you sign these guys? Blah, 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 blah. Insert Bengals are doing it all wrong scenario, storyline.
Yeah, but I get 5.5, so the Bengals can still win.
Right, right. That was spicy. I think it's funny that neither of us picked Denver. After all the talk of we are just hyping Bo Nix and Denver up, we see that 8 6.0 spread, and we're like, ooh, that's a little high for week 1.
That's a lot of points. Vegas did their job. That's
Yep.
a tough one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought that was
okay. I love it. So I have Cardinals, Steelers, Browns, and you have
Seattle, Patriots, Minnesota.
right on. All right. So yeah, this is going to be a weekly segment. We'll check in. We'll check in on the standings. It's gonna be fun. Yeah, we're gonna face off all year long, and you guys, this is just content for the people. It's just gonna be fun. Let us know in the comments. Who are you on this week? Do you like Austin's picks? Do you like Andy's picks? Yeah, no, it's gonna be awesome. Last nugget that I have for you this week. I got half a mind to, if I'm throwing down a parlay, I like all 5 bird teams.
Ooh.
Okay, call me crazy, but Andy, you picked the Seahawks. We talked about how the Eagles are going to destroy. I picked the Cardinals, and I'm not talking about point spread. I'm just to win the game.
Okay.
And then we got the Falcons going up against the Bucks, who are missing a ton of receiving weapons as well as their left tackle. And then the only other one is the Ravens in a pick'em against the Bills. Give me all 5 birds.
Okay. I'll be rooting on those birds for you, except for Arizona.
Okay, right.
I love it.
All right, you got anything more for the people, or should we close it out?
Let's close it out, baby.
All right. Good luck, y'all. See you next week.
See ya.
Thanks a ton for making it to the end of the episode. You're a real one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That's a free, easy way to support the show, and it really helps us out. And leave us your comments down below if you're on YouTube, or send in your questions at the Fantasy Flow Podcast at gmail.com. Until next time.